It's about the mind. It's about how the mind works and how people behave. What could be more interesting than that? And I did work on vision and visual perception. And so in a way, that is what got me going into the particular area, that's where I teach in. I see the course as a story. And in a story, that's a narrative. In narratives, one thing connects to the other. And so it makes sense. One of the things that is a central fact about perception, memory, these kinds of things that I teach, is that there's all of these processes that are going on in the mind with what I call behind the scenes processes that students aren't aware of. They just think they're perceiving something. It's so easy. So what I want them to come away with is, wow, there's all this behind the scenes stuff. And some of the things that are going on, they actually affect my life, and I'm not even aware of it, how it's working. Now I understand some of the underlying things that are going on. Another way to make connections for students is to do demonstrations in class. So I do this demonstration with a sparkler, in which I'm twirling the sparkler around, and I'm asking them to applaud when they see the sparkler, when it's going fast enough that they see a complete circle. The point is that you can actually do a calculation based on how fast I'm twirling the sparkler and how they see it, which shows them that the trail left by the sparkler is actually an illusion. And it's something that is created by their mind. So we start out with that, and then we go into the experiments that actually measure this in a more rigorous way. We talk about something called top-down processing in cognitive psychology. So one of the things I do is I play a tape. It's a Rolling Stones tape called Tumbling Dice. And you just can't make out the words. And then you ask them what they hear. And they come up with baby and maybe one or two little phrases, but they just can't hear it. Then you play the song again and project the words up onto a screen. And all of a sudden, they can hear the words. Same input going into their ears, but all of a sudden their mind can make sense of it. That gives a real connection for them between like this idea, it's sort of an abstract idea, top-down processing or cognitive influences. All of a sudden it becomes real to them. Take 3 cards. Take one of the cards and fold it like this. That's pretty good right there. This is your viewer. Take your viewer and position it over what happened? Anyone want to volunteer? What we just did is simulate computer vision. What did we accomplish? How did we switch from human vision to computer vision?
We learned about 6 of Gestalt's laws today. You don't really understand the reasoning behind it until you put it into action. So, seeing how a computer would perceive based on looking through the viewer and seeing the 2 shades of the card, it just helped to explain those 6 laws further.
If you feel like everything's been clear, you don't have to write anything, but if something you would like me to go over again that's unclear, you'd like to have explained better, write it on the card, and then as you come down, you can just throw the card on the desk. I love 3x5 cards. It gives me feedback from the whole class at once. The feedback is anonymous, so students will answer the questions that they normally wouldn't raise their hand for, like, asking a question they think is stupid. Well, they'll put it on the card, no one knows who asked it, and I get feedback. I want students to come away from my course thinking, that's really exciting, cool stuff, and I never realized that the mind worked that way.